And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is part of the Jedi Knight Revan series. Now, I wanted to take a team that is easily accessible, and I wanted to be able to showcase it against some of the best teams in the game for territory wars, territory battles, and possibly arena for those individuals who are still working through some of those teams. Now, we went through mirror matches recently and how to get through some of those really painful mirror matches by simply infusing Jedi Knight Anakin or not using him specifically when you're going against him. We also are going to talk about droids and how to go against relic tier 7 droids with the same team composition. But today what we're going to go over is Revan teams. Now, I have a bunch of different varying compositions that I see in my climb. So which ones I go through are the ones that I'm going to be showing. I do finally get to fight a malak. There's not a ton of malaks on my leaderboard, but I have 3 different teams. All of them have multiple relic levels, relic tier 5 and above for most of the Revans, Bastilas, and Sith Marauders. In fact, most of the Sith Marauders I face are relic tier 7, but not all of the compositions after that are totally synergistic, as you will see in the videos. So some of them are running, Anakin, or they're running GBA, or they're running, Thrawn. In the last battle, we'll show 3 battles. I do go against a double tank with Sith Trooper and of course, Malak. And so you get to see kind of how we go through and how we win. Now, much like the droids, and you will see that video as well, much like the droids, this is all about surviving and reviving. Surviving and reviving is the name of the game, and so you've got to play it slow, play it clean, and make sure you pay attention to what you're doing. Now, we're going to play the video in the background, and we're going to kind of talk through it like we always do so you can kind of see what we're doing and why we're doing it. Now, the team that we're going against has a relic tier 7 or relic tier 5 Darth Revan, 5 on HK-47, 3 on Bastila, and 7 on Sith Marauder, and then a relic tier 1 on the Thrawn. My decision was to go ahead and get rid of Thrawn because Thrawn was the weakest link on this team. You have to make a decision as to who you kill, and traditionally you go against and you kill Bastila first, but in this situation it's actually not advantageous for me to kill her first in this particular lineup because through experience, every time I went and marked anyone else, and tried to kill them, Thrawn would save the day just long enough to let Mark fall off, and then I killed nobody, and then I would end up losing. So I had to kill Thrawn regardless, and so that is why we mark and kill Thrawn. So there we go. He's out of the picture. Of course, he throws his saber. That's going to happen. Now we're going to go ahead and jump. We're going to go ahead and throw all the buffs over everybody. Now everyone's going to lose their turn, but her debuffs really are wasted because he throws his tenacity down after she goes. It really, if he went first, HK went first, and then she threw hers, it would be terrifying. Now, this is a bad thing for their Darth Revan because I've got Bastila in there with a positive battle meditation, and that gives a natural counter chance, and the only one without battle meditation has retribution. So unfortunately, he throws up an AoE, and that was all he wrote. That happens a lot when I fight Darth Revan teams, and so that's just kind of what happens. Now he goes and kills my Revan. He was death marked, and so that was quick. Sith Marauder does massive amounts of damage, so he's going to be kind of a really high priority for killing. So we're going to do an assist attack, and we're going to do an AoE blast to finish him off. Now we want to kill Bastila Shan, so we do an assistant attack. And remember, every time you call when you're using that assist attack, it's going to end up cleansing both parties, adding health and protection back, and you'll get the damage from both parties. It's really important you pass that between your damage dealers or use it as a management tool for your health and protection and cleanse. And then lastly, we're going to go after him. Now you'll notice that took about 35 seconds, and it was a very clean win. This is one of the easier comps, even with like a relic tier 7 Sith Marauder. It's still a pretty easy composition to win. So we're going to go over a couple other compositions. Again, the other compositions are difficult, especially with the Malaks. This particular team I have, if you want to go against a relic tier 5 or above Malak, you're going to need to replace Grandmaster Yoda with Hermit Yoda, and Hermit Yoda would need to be, of course, into the relic tiers as well as your rest of your team. So there's specific speeds and everything like that. Now, I'm not focused on Hermit Yoda right now because I'm trying to work on my Darth Revan team on this specific Scissorman account myself. Let's go to the next battle. Okay, on this particular day, I really wanted to go for Elsa because I wanted to showcase going against Sith Marauder at Relic Tier 7, and then the Relic Tier 5 and 5 on Marauder, or on Revan and Basty. Plus, he was one of the easier Malaks to beat, and he was in the second spot. But obviously, on this particular day, I had 29 minutes, and I was trying to get in first place, and I had one battle left. So I went after Edel, which Edel is in first place, and he's using a unique composition where he's got Relic Tier 3 and above basically on everybody, Relic Tier 5 on HK. And by the way, a Relic Tier 5 HK does a ton of damage. And so the composition is going to be different. There's actually going to be 6 individuals because of GBA, and there's going to be a little bit of a different gameplay, different strategy slightly in how you kill it. But I do on another day get to go back and fight Elsa for the number 2 slot on another climb. And so we'll get to see that battle here after this Edel battle. Again, we want to switch out and use Jedi Knight Anakin. Now, just like the other battle, this is a unique scenario. I have to change my kill order based on who I'm going against. And Jedi Knight Anakin, while he's kind of the least of my problems on this other team with, Relic Tier 5 HK and Basty and, Revan and all sorts of stuff, he's really kind of a big problem for me because he can sit over there and just start to one-shot individuals. So what I do is I go ahead and mark him and kill him just to make him not a part of the equation. So now it's 5 versus 5. Now they're going to take their turns. He does have a faster team than me after that initial thing. They actually take their turn. I skip my turn. They get to take enough turns that single turn taunt ends up falling off. That's actually a good thing for me that I lost my turn and that they got to take their basic turn, because now I get to target whomever I would like. So now we're going to go after Geonosian Brute Alpha. We're going to call an assist, do some damage. He throws his debuff. He throws his AoE. Now, again, just like the last battle, oftentimes I don't have to even worry about Darth Revan because Darth Revan commits suicide through AoE, and that's exactly what he does here. Very easy to kill him. I don't even have to think or worry about him. And that's just the composition. That's why Bastila is so important to have in here, because of her battle meditation. And you can see she had retribution up herself. And so now we've got to go ahead and we'll do the AoE blast because we're attempting to take out as much protection as possible. We definitely want to kill GBA so we have no more tanks coming out. We want to go back, and he's taunting, so I had to kill the tank. Now we want to kill the GBA so he doesn't bring a tank back. Now we have to kill Fallen, so we're going to go ahead and do an assist call. Now the assist calls, you want to always call somebody who A, does a lot of damage, and 2, whoever you're trying to cleanse and add back health and protection, because again, when you pass that buff back and forth, when you call the assist, you're going to provide the health and protection and cleanse with that. So we'll just do a basic. Now I could have done the revive, but I didn't because obviously that's HK, and if I need the revive for the next round. But the revive does provide a bunch of health and protection, just as something to think about. Now we're going to do the heal on everyone. We're going to do a call to assist. And I could have done Anakin or Yoda. Yoda tends to do better when you go against HK. When you go against tanks, I tend to use Anakin as the call to assist whenever you're calling someone to assist. So I hope that that helps when you see weird compositions such as this. 6 versus 5, not very fair, but we got through it just fine. Now let's go on to a Malak team. Okay, just like I mentioned earlier, my team does not have Hermit Yoda, and so because of that, I really can't take out these Relic Tier 7 teams such as Jagged Dre, where he's got a Relic Tier 7. He also happens to have Watt, 6-star Watt, and that makes that Relic Tier 7. You just can't debuff him, and that's kind of the name of the game with my counter. And then Shiro Man has a Relic Tier 7 with a Relic Tier 7 Sith Marauder who single shots everything. So that's a very, very, very difficult comp to beat, especially without Hermit Yoda. This particular day, my climb to first. My next jump was to the second place, and then second place was Elsa. So I did tell you we were going to be able to go against it. And I will say this is an easier team in the sense that the 2 tanks are 6-star gear 11. I will concede that. However, this team, my team composition, does work against teams that have relic levels that are slightly lower on the other 3 and are higher on the other 2. So if your relic average is around relic tier 2, 3, or 4 on the whole team, this counter still works just fine. You got to concede though that Revan is 5, Basty is 5, and Sith Marauder is relic tier 7. He one-shots people at 175k a hit, and he can even do 100k plus on his basic. So this is a very, very, very difficult team to beat because of all of the damage output from just those 3 alone. And then it's a double tank team with tons of protection on those 2 tanks. So it makes it very difficult regardless of the fact that they're 6-star gear 11 because of the high relic levels on the other 2. Now let's go ahead and see how this battle plays out. Again, it's all about managing your heals and keeping people alive. Sometimes RNG, you're going to get ability blocked and things aren't going to go right, and that's just the way of the world. Now on this team, I have tried to kill Bastila. I've tried to kill, Revan or Malak, because Malak is a 6-star gear 11. I've tried everything. At the end of the day, a relic tier 7 Sith Marauder is your number 1 priority no matter what when you're facing a team like this, just like the first battle was where I marked and killed Sith Marauder. This particular team is absolutely insane with a relic tier 7 Marauder. It's nuts. You have to mark and kill him. Otherwise, he's going to cause mayhem on your team and just pure destruction. He's the only one on the other side that can just totally and easily one-shot my characters every single time he takes a turn. So we're going to go ahead and mark him, even though it may sound counterintuitive. And we're going to, I was trying here to decide whether I should jump and then pass buffs or whether I should just pass buffs. I'm trying to see turn meter. And of course it was on my phone when I recorded this and I couldn't tell. It looked like if I jumped, there's a possibility I might not be able to pass buffs. So I go ahead and pass buffs. And then, of course, he jumps. I lose my turn. I resist those debuffs from Basty, which is another reason why she's not as big a problem. I did the strategic advantage call to assist, cleansed both individuals, and finished him off. Now it's 5-4. I've got basically full health and protection. Now there's a tank that's taunting. The good news with the double tank situation is I don't have to worry about Malak right now if I don't want to, or if I see an opportunity to kill Malak when he's taunting, I can. So once they're both taunting, I can choose which one is more advantageous for me. I actually prefer a double tank because if I don't want to upset Malak at the time or ramp him up, I can go for Sith Trooper. And if I want to kill Malak because I see him critically injured and I've got Anakin who I can spool up, then I can do that. So I actually prefer the double tank. I really wish that they all put in double tank situations. But we're going to go ahead and go for the Sith Empire Trooper. Now, again, but this particular situation, whenever Revan does his AoE, if anyone has Battle Meditation or Retribution, they're going to attack back. Now, the tanks were taunting, and so, of course, he was protected this time. That's one of the reasons why, of course, with Revan, you should use tanks so you don't lose him. Now, I lose my one freebie of reviving. We kill their tank through the cleanse and call to assist, of course. And I could do my AoE blast, but not yet. We're just going to do a basic. She kills my leader. Now's time for the AoE blast. And she's critical. I've got to go for him because he's taunting. So I do a basic with ability block. It didn't work. I lose my damage dealer. That's really sucky. And of course, they ability block my reviver. So at this point, this is looking really actually pretty bad. Sometimes the battles just turn out this way. But you don't lose hope. You take your time. I do a basic on her, hoping to kill her. It doesn't because she's relic tier 5. I do a jump, which kills her. And then I do my special. The good news is Yoda is ramped up with offense up, does 92k. He kills her. I go ahead and throw some buffs up. I get the revive. Thank you, Lord. And then I ramp up my Anakin, and voila, Anakin hits him for 110 ramped up damage. So that's, I love seeing that damage. Bam, 110,000. And so, and he's dead. And so I've done this against Relic Tier 2 or Relic Tier 3 Darth Malaks. Again, I don't have Hermit Yoda in here. And again, your kill order changes based on what you're facing. Really what you need to do is you have to decide, can you get your tenacity up to make their Bastilas, useless debuffs, make sure that she misses all of her debuffs, and then you don't have to kill her right off the bat if that's the case. Darth Revan will kind of kill himself potentially because of the countering. And then as far as Sith Marauder, if he's not in the team or he's not very high, you can make him a lower priority. But if he's in that Relic Tier 5 or above, you have to kill him or he'll just one shot, and your team is just going to crumble, and you won't have enough revives to keep coming. I hope that this helps everybody out there. I know that these aren't obviously perfect compositions. These are just what's in my Scissorman climb every single day while I try to go in to get first. A lot of people asked me, show me the teams you have to face and how do you beat them? That's simply what I'm doing. And in the process, I'm hopefully teaching a few of you newer folk how to do this and how to use the compositions to your advantage. As always, if you have questions about these compositions, leave them in the comments down below. And as always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.